My beloved child, there are places I lead you to, not because they are comfortable, but because they will cause your life to bear fruit. There are roads I open that are not paved with convenience, yet they carry the power to transform you from within. You once hoped I would bring you to a gentler place, a place with less opposition, a place where your heart would not have to be stretched between so many things you could not understand. But my child, I am not only caring for your temporary comfort, I am forming within you a depth that can stand firm in an age of great shaking. I do not bring you to a land merely so you may rest in familiar safety, but to a place where your presence, your prayers, and your faithfulness will become useful to many others. There are lands that open only to those who are not afraid to walk against the crowd, not because they consider themselves strong, but because they are willing to let me lead them when every voice around them says to turn back. Understand this with peace. I did not call you because you are better than others. I called you because you have said to me many times that you are willing. Willingness is more precious in my eyes than the appearance of perfection. A heart that can endure being shaped can become a more beautiful vessel than a life that only knows how to maintain an orderly outward image. You have trembled, yet you still stepped forward. You have doubted, yet you still sought me. You have grown weary, yet you did not lose the longing to live according to what I placed within you. It is in these things that I see good soil, and when I find a willing heart, I can sow great seeds into it and cause them to sprout at a time no one expects. The world outside is running very fast. People hurry to seek the spotlight, praise, position, and signs to prove they have value. But I am teaching you to move at another rhythm. I am teaching you to love simplicity, to love truth, and to love the hidden place where no one applauds. Yet I see. Do not be sad if there are seasons when you are not noticed. Do not be discouraged if what I am doing in you has not yet been recognized by others. Trees with deep roots often do not need to display their leaves before the season comes. Quiet underground streams can nourish an entire dry land. True influence does not begin with noise, but with a life rooted in me. It does not come from your effort to become outstanding, but from your choice to live truthfully, purely, and steadfastly before me. I know you once thought influence meant being known by many people, being placed in a high position, or having a loud voice in the crowd. But my child, in my kingdom, depth always comes before influence. Before I use you to touch what is outside, I must make what is inside you settled. Before you can support others, I must heal the places within you that have been silently bleeding. Before your words can have the strength to lift others up, your heart must be freed from the old voices that once made you shrink back in fear. If your inner life is still being pulled by wounds, outward recognition will not make you free. If the hidden rooms within you remain locked by old memories, outward success still cannot bring true peace. Therefore, I am not in a hurry to bring you to the front while I am still lovingly restoring what is within. There are rooms in your heart that you closed long ago. You thought that if you simply did not touch them anymore, they would no longer hurt. You learned how to be silent, how to smile, how to keep walking as though everything had passed. But I, the Father who understands you better than you understand yourself, know that what is hidden does not naturally disappear. There are memories that still quietly affect the way you trust, the way you love, the way you receive blessings, and the way you see yourself. There are old words that passed through many years ago, yet still left echoes that make you hesitate before what is good. There were times of being abandoned, misunderstood, and overlooked that caused you to build walls you called self-protection. But my beloved child, those walls do not only keep pain from entering, they can also keep my love, healing, and light from touching the places that most need restoration. That is why I am knocking on the doors of the places you once feared to open, not to blame you for being hurt, and not to force you to remember everything in loneliness, but so that I may enter with gentleness. I do not storm into the rooms you hide like a severe judge. I come as the Father holding fragrant oil, light, and a new garment for you, where you once felt shame. I want to place dignity where you once felt fear. I want to sow peace where you once blamed yourself. I want to speak forgiveness and support. You do not need to keep any dark corner hidden out of fear that I will be disappointed. I already know everything, and I still love you. I have seen everything, and I still call you my beloved child. Remember the story of the Samaritan woman at the well. She came to the well at an hour when few people were there, perhaps because her heart had grown too familiar with judging eyes and whispers behind her back. She carried her jar to draw water, but inside she also carried longings that had never been filled, broken places no one wanted to touch, and stories that made her want to avoid the eyes of others. Yet I met her not in the middle of a crowd, but at an ordinary well, at a moment that seemed to hold nothing special. I did not begin with condemnation. I opened a conversation. I touched the truth of her life, but not to crush her. I revealed light, but that light did not shame her. It set her free. And from someone who once avoided the eyes of others, she became one who ran back to the town to speak about what she had encountered. Do you see? When I enter the deepest place, I do not make you smaller. I make you free to become a witness of mercy. In the same way, you no longer have to live as someone who only carries wounds. I do not deny what you have been through, but I will not allow it to become your name. You are not the sum of your disappointments. You are not the result of the wrong words others once spoke over you. You are not someone dragged forever by the past along the road of the present. I am placing upon you a new name, healed one, restored one, called one led by my wise hand. The old marks are no longer chains to bind you. They will become places through which my light shines, so that others may see that I can rebuild what seemed broken. From now on, walk not as a wanderer without direction, but as one who is on a path I have written with faithfulness. There are turns you do not yet understand, but they are not meaningless. There are stretches of road you once wanted to avoid, but it was there that I taught you endurance. There were delays that once saddened you, but they kept you from entering what was not yet mature. There were losses that made you think you were empty, but through them, I created space to place something better within you. No step of yours is wasted when you walk with me. Even roads filled with tears can become streams for tomorrow. Beloved child, do not fear the purification taking place within your heart. Do not resist my hand when I clear away the things that have occupied space within you for too long. I do not take away in order to make you poor. I remove what is heavy so that you may be free. I do not open hidden rooms to wound you further. I open them to bring light, healing, and restoration. I do not lead you against the current so that you will be lonely. I lead you as a father holding your hand in strong waters, so you may learn that you do not need to be like the crowd in order to be safe. Your difference is not a burden, but a sign that I am setting you apart for a deeper purpose. The day will come when you understand why I did not allow you to live only in comfortable places. You will see that the fruitful place sometimes begins with inconvenience, that influence sometimes begins in hiddenness, and that healing sometimes begins with the courage to open an old door. You will look back and realize that I did not waste a single season of your life. I used every turn to teach you trust, every wound to make you softer, every silence to make your roots deeper, and every trial to make the light within you purer. Continue to let me do my work. Continue to stay near me. Continue to remain willing, for in a willing heart, I can do things far beyond what you have ever asked, dreamed, or dared to believe. My beloved child, in this very hour, I want you to hear my words with the deepest part of your being. Do not stop halfway. Do not let go just because your shoulders are tired. Do not conclude that I have been silent simply because your circumstances have not moved in the way you hoped. There are seasons when I act brightly like dawn breaking open over a mountaintop. But there are also seasons when I work quietly, like a seed, silently cracking open beneath the soil. The stillness around you does not mean heaven is inactive. The waiting is not a sign of failure. The walls standing before you have not been raised to imprison you forever. They are only standing there until your perseverance, prayers, and obedience become the sound that causes them to fall. You may not yet see the first crack, but I have seen it. You may not yet hear the movement in the hidden place, but I have heard it. Therefore, keep standing firm, because what is opposing you is not greater than the one who is keeping you. Do not underestimate the words you offer in silence. Do not think that your sighs, your broken prayers, and the nights when you kneel down with a heart that has run out of strength are meaningless. In the world unseen by human eyes, every word you speak to me carries the weight of faith. Every time you choose to turn your heart toward me instead of sinking into despair, a binding cord is being shaken. Every time you keep your heart from leaving me, even when there is not yet an answer, a door is being marked to open at the right time. I do not need you to speak beautifully, nor do I require you to come to me with a perfect appearance. I only seek a heart that still knows how to return, that still knows how to speak to me through tears, that still knows my light is stronger than every long night. My child, what pleases me is not a life that never grows weak, but faithfulness that still burns, even on the days when you feel small. I did not choose you because you have no wounds, nor did I call you because you are always firm like stone. I know you have moments of trembling, times when you doubt yourself, and days when the flame within you seems reduced to a small ember. But I also know that you have not turned your back. I see that you still try to hold on to what is holy, still try to guard your faith, still try to stand on the side of light, even when many voices around you pull you into discouragement. And it is there that I see your beauty, not the beauty of being flawless, but the beauty of a heart that allows me to lift it, shape it, pour fresh oil upon it, and light it again. No one can keep their lamp burning forever by themselves if they do not draw near to the source of fire. No one can fight for long if they keep living on yesterday's strength. Therefore, I do not only call you to watch, I also give you fresh oil each day. Come to me before you are exhausted. Seek me before your heart becomes dry. Let my presence seep into every weary place within you like gentle rain, soaking cracked soil. You do not need to wait until you collapse before you lean on me. You do not need to prove that you are strong enough before you are worthy of being supported. I am your Father, and I delight in giving you strength for every part of the journey. When you draw near to me, the lamp within you will not only be kept from going out, it will burn brighter, purer, and more steadily, so it may shine not only for you, but also for those who are losing their way around you. I am bringing you into a deeper land, where prayer is no longer only a cry for help so you can survive a difficult day, but becomes an instrument that opens the way, breaks chains, releases captives, and awakens hearts. In the past, you may have prayed to find shelter for yourself, to be comforted, to receive peace, and to survive stormy seasons. I understand all of these things, and I was with you. But now, I am widening your vision. I want you to realize that the presence I have placed within you is not only for you to keep for yourself. There are others who need the light I have lit in you. There are hearts bound by fear, And there are people who have grown so accustomed to darkness that they no longer remember what light looks like. And I am preparing you to become one who stands in the gap. An intercessor, a keeper of the flame, one who does not abandon their position when night falls. Remember the story of Nehemiah when he heard that the walls of Jerusalem had been broken down. He did not merely feel sad and stop there, nor did he only weep before the ruins. He prayed, waited for the appointed time, and then rose up to rebuild what had been destroyed. When opponents mocked, threatened, and tried to frighten him, he did not leave the work entrusted to him. Those who built the wall had to work and keep watch at the same time. One hand rebuilding the wall, and the other ready to protect what was holy. Do you see? There are seasons when I do not only call you to rest in peace, but also call you to be watchful in your assignment. There are broken places around you that do not need more lamenting, but need someone who dares to pray, dares to rebuild, and dares to stand firm when mockery rises. And just as I was with Nehemiah in that work of restoration, I am also with you in the work I have given you today. The darkness that is spreading does not always appear through violent things that are easy to recognize. Many times, it comes as a quiet coldness, as the habit of living far from me without feeling pain anymore, as busyness that makes people forget to listen to what is holy, and as unhealed wounds that cause hearts to become hard. Many people still walk, still laugh, still speak, and still do ordinary things, but inside they have long been asleep. Therefore, you must not allow yourself to sleep in this hour, not because I want you to live in tension, but because I am placing within you a gentle watchfulness. A watchman does not need to shout to prove that he is awake. A watchman simply does not leave his position, knows how to look into the distance, knows how to listen for small movements, and knows how to light the lamp when others have not yet realized that the night has grown deep. When everything around you becomes quiet, do not assume that nothing is happening. It is often in those silent spaces that I arrange the most important things. I prepare hearts. I make the way ready. I close dangerous doors. I open hidden paths. I soften what has become hardened and touch places you cannot reach. Your part is to remain connected to me. Do not let your heart be pulled away by weariness, distraction, or voices that make you doubt your calling. You do not stand guard by your own strength. You do not keep the fire burning by your own ability. I am the one who placed you there, and I am also the one who strengthens you through every watch of the night. My beloved child, keep the oil in your lamp full through closeness with me. Do not seek me only when the battle becomes fierce. Stay with me even on ordinary days, so that when strong winds blow, the flame within you is already accustomed to burning steadily. Pray not as one trying to convince me to love you, but as a child conversing with their father. Stand firm, not because you do not know fear, but because you know I am greater than what frightens you. Continue, not because you always feel strong, but because I am still pouring new life into you. The day will come when you look back and understand that the nights when you thought you were only trying to endure were actually the nights when you were being trained to become one who carries light for many others. The prayers you thought were small will become a river that opens the way. The tears you offered in the secret place will become seeds for a season of restoration. The times when you did not give up, even though no one saw, will be remembered by me as a pleasing offering. So, my child, do not stop. Do not leave your position. Do not let go of the lamp. I am with you. I am working in the hidden place, and I will cause the light I placed within you to shine brightly at the right time, so that those still lost in the night may see the way home. My beloved child, let your heart rest in this truth. I never place a road before you and then leave you to grope through the darkness alone. I do not give you a responsibility without preparing the grace you need to carry it. I do not call you into a new season and then forget to give you the wisdom, endurance, courage, and necessary blessings to keep moving forward. There are things today that seem too great, too far, and too heavy to you, but in my hands. They are not burdens meant to crush you. They are places where I will reveal my power, gentleness, and faithfulness toward you. You do not need to see the whole journey before you can take one more step. You only need to know that I am with you, and my presence is enough to uphold you through every turn. Perhaps you have often wondered how you should decide, which direction you should choose, whether you should speak or remain silent, whether you should continue or stop, whether you should hold on or let go. I see those quiet battles within your heart. I see you weighing each matter, fearing each consequence, trying not to make a mistake, trying not to wound anyone, trying not to lose what I have entrusted to you. But my child, I want you to understand that you do not need to carry all these questions alone. Every decision of yours, no matter how small it may seem in the eyes of the world, is still seen by me with deep love. Nothing that belongs to you is trivial to me, because you are my beloved child. What concerns your heart also touches mine. What keeps you awake is also held within my care. Therefore, when you stand before crossroads, do not let fear become your guide. Fear often speaks very loudly, but it does not always speak the truth. It will tell you that if you do not control everything, everything will fall apart. It will whisper that you must protect yourself with tension, handle everything by your own strength, and find a way out before it is too late. But I do not teach you to live like an abandoned child. I teach you to live as a beloved child, guided, covered, and upheld. When you place your hand in mine, you do not lose your ability to choose. You simply no longer have to choose in loneliness. When you entrust the unknown to me, you do not become weak. You step into a more sacred strength. The strength of one who knows the Father is beside them. Remember that my guidance does not always come like thunder resounding from heaven. Many times, I lead you through a gentle peace in your heart, through a door opening at the right time, through wise counsel from someone I send, or through an obstruction that seems inconvenient but actually keeps you from what is not meant for you. At times, I guide you with clear light, but at other times, I give only enough light for the next step, so that you may learn to trust me day by day. If I showed you everything from the beginning, you might fear the difficult stretches of the road, or you might rush toward the outcome and skip the necessary growth along the journey. Therefore, I often give light in stages, not because I am not generous, but because I am teaching you to walk closer to me. Do you remember the story of Abraham when I called him to leave what was familiar? He was not given a full map with every milestone clearly marked. He received only the call and walked in faith. Before him was an unknown land. Behind him were familiar things. And in his hand was my promise. The world might have called it recklessness, but in my eyes, it was beautiful obedience. I did not require him to understand everything before he went. I simply invited him to trust that the one who called him was trustworthy. And my child, just as I kept, guided, and fulfilled my promise in his life, I am also leading you in my own way. You do not need to have every answer before you are allowed to move forward. There are doors that open only when your feet step down in trust. There are miracles that appear only when you leave the old shore of safety and step into the land I am preparing. From that place, learn to look at your decisions with more peaceful eyes. Do not see them as traps waiting for you to make a mistake, but as opportunities for you to listen to me more deeply. When you ask me before you act, when you bring your plans before me, when you allow my wisdom to adjust your desires, your heart will gradually become lighter. That lightness does not come because circumstances immediately change, but because the burden no longer rests entirely on your shoulders. I carry it with you. I go before you. I stand behind you. I cover you with unchanging mercy, even when you do not yet know what to choose. I can still keep you from wrong paths if you truly desire to walk in my will. There are blessings you cannot receive while you keep trying to hold everything together by yourself. Not because I do not want to give, but because your hands are too tight, too tired, and too full of old anxieties to receive what is new. When you release what you cannot control into my hands, you are not losing. You are creating space for grace to enter. When you stop fighting to prove that you are strong enough, I will let you taste the strength that comes from dependence. When you no longer try to force every door open through impatience, I will teach you to recognize which door carries the mark of my peace, which door is only the voice of pressure, and which door you need the courage to step through, even while your heart still trembles. So do not let tomorrow steal the peace of today. The things that have not yet come are still in my hands. The things you do not yet understand are still under my wisdom. The answers that have not appeared do not mean that I will remain silent forever. Sometimes I am arranging everything quietly, so that when the time comes, you will realize that not one tear was wasted, not one prayer was forgotten, and not one day of waiting was outside my plan. I am not hurried, but I am not late. I do not display myself for show, but I am always at work. I do not always explain immediately, but I always love you completely. Beloved child, let faith become the lamp in each choice you make. When you do not know the way, draw near to me before you draw near to worry. When pressure pushes you, pause long enough to hear the peace I place within your heart. When you must decide, remember that true wisdom is not only choosing what seems most convenient, but choosing what brings you closer to me, keeps your heart pure, and helps you live more faithfully according to what I have sown within you. There are choices that seem difficult at first, yet later bring life. There are things that look attractive at first glance, yet make your heart heavy. Let me teach you to discern, not through panic, but through gentle watchfulness. I do not ask you to do everything alone. I do not demand that you become someone who never grows tired, never doubts, and never needs support. I am your father, and a kind father does not stand with folded arms, watching his child carry burdens in silence. Call upon me in every small matter. Ask me in every step. Let me enter even the decisions you think are too ordinary to offer to me. When you invite me in, I will bring order into confusion, light into dim places, and peace into places of inner conflict. My help is not only for great events, it is also for each day you wake up, each conversation you must face, each choice you must make, and each concern you quietly carry. And now, I want you to lay before me everything you are trying to solve on your own. Lay down the fear of making mistakes. Lay down the pressure to please everyone. Lay down the weariness of always having to appear okay. Lay down even the plans you have held for so long that your hands have grown sore. I do not come to take away your future, I come to preserve it. I do not come to make you small, I come to make you free in my love. Trust that I can lead you better than your fear, better than your haste, and better than even your most careful calculations. Keep walking, my beloved child, but do not walk like one who has been abandoned. Keep making decisions, but do not decide like one who has no guide. Keep doing your part, but let me do the part that only I can do. I will give you wisdom at the right time, strength at the right time, support at the right time, and blessing at the right time. When you entrust your way to me, You will see the burden grow lighter, your heart become quieter, and your steps become steadier. And then, when you look back, you will understand that you did not overcome everything by yourself. I was the one quietly leading you through each day, each decision, and each trial, until what I promised began to bloom in your life.